Greetings and welcome to an LGR thing. And this thing is a monitor. It's in a series of absolute classics from Amdek. This is the 12-inch video monitor, the Video 310A, and this is an amber monochrome PC display. And this 300 series was incredibly popular back then, costing around $230 in 1983. The 10 here signifying that it's a step up from the normal 300, which is just a composite connection, and the A here signifying that it's amber and not a green phosphor monochrome display. And yeah, this is brand new in box. Had to grab it as soon as I saw it because I've always wanted one of these monitors in this range, and I've just always been quite fond of amber displays like this. They got the job done, and these Amdek displays were positively ubiquitous in the early to mid 80s. You'd see them on everything from Apple IIs to Atari 8-bit machines, IBM PCs, all sorts of clones, especially the 300 series and the Amdek Color 1. I have one of those as well. That doesn't actually plug in using a CGA or anything like that. It's not a TTL. That actually uses composite. So yeah, I am quite excited to open this up and hook it up and play with it and stuff. But before we do that, I just want to mention a little bit about Amdek themselves, because it turns out the Amdek Corporation as a company has a fascinating history, albeit a slightly confusing one. There seem to be two competing origin stories, one being that Amdek started as a subsidiary of Roland in Osaka, Japan, making computerized rhythm machines and effects kits. Hence the name Amdek, which is an acronym actually, standing for Analog Music Digital Electronics Kits. But another origin story is that Amdek actually started in 1978 in Elk Grove, Illinois, selling the computer industry's first video monitors for PCs. Amdek definitely existed in both countries, but if you look up Amdek from Roland's point of view, they stopped selling monitors in 1983, rebranding Amdek as the Roland DG Corporation. But if you look up Amdek from the Illinois company's point of view, they never stopped selling monitors at all. In fact, newspaper archives show they remained a privately held company until being acquired by Wise Technology in 1986, where they continued making computer products into the early 90s. What gives? Well, it seems the truth lies somewhere in between. Turns out the earliest Amdek company was the one in Illinois. It's just that they weren't called Amdek in the late 70s. They were the Leadex Corporation, where they sold one of the first video displays designed for PCs, the Video 100. Over in Japan, Roland created their Amdek brand for music equipment in 1981, and being that their intent was to sell computerized music peripherals, they also dabbled in disk drives, printers, and displays. Leadex had already been doing similar things in the USA, and they partnered with Roland and took on the Amdek name, with the company being referred to as Leadex/Amdek as early as June of 1981. But by 1982, things started to shift a bit for Roland's Amdek with the DXY 100 pen plotter, intended to help computer users print their own sheet music. And this showed immediate results with Roland's core demographics, so they spun it off into Roland DG, dropping the Amdek name entirely. But then the former Leadex Corporation just kept the Amdek name, remaining a private company and continuing to do business as the Amdek Corporation in North America, bringing us back around to this Amdek video monitor, which I assume was sold through the former Leadex Corporation in Illinois. Go ahead and open it up and find out. There we go. Amdek 12-inch video monitor, model 310/310A. You get a warranty card here. Amdek's the new name for Leadex. And you can see there, Elk Grove Village, Illinois. I wonder if they'll make any mention of Roland in here. Probably not. I got some pretty basic stuff right here. Shows you what it is, what it can do, how to turn it on and off, and don't put it in a flood. Apparently you needed to use an additional adapter if you needed to plug it into 220 volts. Okay, let's try to get the rest of this thing out of here. Yeah, that's it. Just a box with a monitor. Oh man, this thing looks awesome already. I just love the aesthetic, more so than the Color 1. I have a couple of those and still a classic display, but those look more like TVs. This looks more like a monitor. And definitely the oldest display that I've ever unboxed. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. It's got one of those anti-glare coatings. And I pull on / bright. Oh, that's a satisfying feel and sound. Oh, brand new cables. Smells like rubbery plastic stuff. Ah, look at that. I'll plug straight into different monochrome boards that I have. Yeah, I definitely think I want to try this with a Hercules card. I dig everything about this design, even just the name itself of the company, Amdek Corporation. Look at that logo. Check it out, this one was made in May of 1988. Quite a high serial number there. Yeah, these things, they just made so many of them, and obviously you can still find them. No doubt there are just warehouses full of them that either didn't get sold or ordered by companies in bulk and then they ended up not using them, who knows. And we do have some adjustments here. Looks like vertical hold is the only one we can adjust this way, otherwise you have to use some screwdrivers for the alignment and size and the horizontal centering and stuff like that. Good times. Well, I am ready to plug this thing in to an IBM PC and see what we get, which, oh man. There's nothing like a piece of new old stock 80s hardware like this, especially monitors. I don't know what it is. To me, they're almost more special in some ways than like the computers themselves. So often the displays were tossed or upgraded or whatever, and then the computers hung around for a little bit longer, and those have become a little more collectible. But like getting a proper monitor, even a monochrome like this, which I know they were sold in massive numbers and there's nothing special about it at all, but it's special to me. Anyway, let's go ahead and try this thing out. Okay, I've got that Hercules card installed, swapped out the EGA one that was in here. Got the monitor plugged into both the back of the computer's power supply and the Hercules card itself. And yeah, when you turn on the computer, the monitor will turn on as well. You don't necessarily need to do this every time. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Ooh, I see orange. Got the RAM check going on right there, and the display slowly expanding outward as it warms up. So let's go ahead and try out some software. This is, I love this already. There's something instantly amusing to me about running DOS in amber monochrome. I don't know. It's nostalgic. It feels correct. I mean, I like green as well. That is obviously why I have a green phosphor monochrome introduction for Lazy Game Reviews. That is what that is, by the way. It's from my IBM 5151 video. Been using it ever since. And I showed some MDA compatible stuff and Hercules things in that as well, but may as well go over it again because it's going to look a little bit different than it did back then. So yeah. Of course, we're just going to be in text mode right now, and this does support 80 columns, so we're going to be able to run 80 column text mode things. So this makes sense for text like this. Any kind of editor that uses text. So just the basic edit program, Lotus 123, or anything that's in this mode is good. So it's ideal for that. It's really made for things running in text, ASCII, ANSI mode. It's not meant for games, but of course, you can play games such as Kingdom of Kroz 2 here. Is your screen color or monochrome? It is monochrome. It's a fast PC because we have a PC-AT. That's fast. Ah, yes. So, right, it's incredibly simple kind of experience, but it is what it is. But this does have a Hercules card built in as well. I mean, it does now that I've installed it. It's not built in. I added it just a few minutes ago. So let's go ahead and do something in Hercules mode. One we've seen before in the past on my 5151 video was Arkanoid 2, Revenge of Doe. And this actually allows us to get some graphics through monochrome. And that was one of the lovely things that Hercules mode allowed for. All sorts of extra custom sets. Yeah, I've talked about it in the past. I'll probably talk about it again. I really want to do a dedicated video on the whole Hercules story because it's wonderful. Neat things can happen with dithering and a graphics card that actually allows for... How did I miss every single one of those? It's kind of impressive, actually, but, you know, talking and playing Arkanoid 2 at the same time. And trying not to say something stupid. Apparently means I can't catch all the balls. I can't catch any of them. Oh my goodness, that's just the worst. Let's try something else here. I believe we have King's Quest 2 on here, which should also have a monochrome Hercules compatible mode. Yes, we do. This would have blown my mind as a kid because what I was used to seeing was just... Oh man, that's really slow. There we go. That's a little better. Anyway, I was just used to seeing text mode only, whether it be at my mom's workplace, on her the hotel computers they used to take all sorts of you know, reservations and stuff. Hooked up to, it was a terminal kind of situation. And another terminal situation that had Amber that I had quite a bit of experience with as a kid was the local library, and those, I believe they were Wang terminals. But yeah, so those only did text, and I had no idea that this kind of thing was possible. I knew that Hercules existed because I always saw it in the setup menus of my games and stuff growing up. I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, that's a weird name. Hercules? Like, yeah. Now, if you were to get some of the other AMDEC monitors that just had a composite in, that were monochrome, or, you know, composite in, of course, you could just plug any composite signal in there and it's going to come through and it's going to turn into monochrome. This, on the other hand, is actually rendering directly through its, you know, TTL and everything, and it's going through that. So you are more limited as to what it's going to output just due to the way that this kind of video chipset works. What? Nothing special. Another one here I have is Test Drive 2 The Dual, or the Dual Test Drive 2. I always mix those up. And it has a Hercules graphics adapter mode as well. This in particular I always found quite impressive considering what's going on. Let's just race against the clock. I'm a rookie. That is a very loud speaker in this computer. Always is, but this song in particular is really loud. All right, here we go. Yeah, I think that's in focus. Anyway. Driving in monochrome. Amber monochrome, no less. Again, not necessarily impressive on its own. It's just amusing to me personally because the only thing that I ever saw monochrome in Amber doing was text mode. So this is like neat and stuff. LGR. A continual excuse to whip out IBM computers and do stuff that is objectively underwhelming, but subjectively amazing. Something else I've noticed by the fact that it's really not there is the lack of any phosphor persistence, ghosting effect, or anything like that. Like, there's all this here, and then it's gone. Like, it's very fast in terms of how quick it refreshes what's on the screen, and then it just goes away. There's not a bunch of ghosting garbage like I've seen on, say, my IBM 5151, and it's quite nice. And so is this anti-glare filter on here. Just only a couple little spots where it looks like it might have slowly come loose or something, but certainly looks better than a couple of the monitors I've had where a third-party filter has been slapped on top of it. It doesn't get rid of the glare completely. As you can see, there's the lighting behind there that is being picked up a bit, but it's minimized a massive amount. I mean, overall, this is just a nice monochrome display. I quite enjoy this. So I'm going to continue to enjoy it because it's enjoyable. And I don't know, I feel like playing some Arkanoid. Anyway, that's it for this video on this AMDEC monitor, the Video 310A. It's quite a lovely little thing, I think. And if you thought that this was enjoyable to take a look at, just a more relaxed video today, because that's what I was feeling, then yeah, let me know. I got the balls that time. And if you did like it, perhaps you'd like to check out some of my other stuff. I do more videos every single week here on LGR. Twice a week. I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm playing games. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching.